Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. I want to do this video today because a lot of you have asked how I ended up in the Philippines and stayed here for so long. I will explain that coming up. Stick around, guys. Hello guys. So, the reason I came to the Philippines from all of the places on God's earth, well, I shall tell you. When I retired, okay, I was 50 years old when I retired. Well, actually I was 48, but I actually still carried on working for a while in the school in the UK, on and off, until I totally made my mind up about where I was going to go. So what I did, I went to Japan. Well, I got a job in Japan. I applied for the job in Japan teaching in Osaka in the international language school. So I stayed there in Japan for around about 8 months, I think. Decided I didn't really like it that much, so I did my contract, which was 6 months. I think I stayed there for 8, but I did my 6 months contract. Then I went to the Philippines for a little holiday, and I thought, you know, this place is not too bad. And then I went back to England. I was in the Philippines for about a month, I think. It wasn't a couple of weeks, you know, like it was a month. Then I went back to England. Applied for a job in South Korea, teaching again for Samsung English, and they have a heck of a lot of private academies called Hagwons. So I was working there, and during the holidays, rather than go back to England, which was a very, very long haul flight, I used to go to Philippines, because it was only a 3.5 hour flight from Korea. And I went to Cebu. Thought Cebu was lovely, I must say, but I thought it was quite expensive. And stayed there, went back to South Korea working again. And this final time, what happened was, it was a break. It was a 2-week vacational break. It was called, I can't remember what they call it in Korea, but anyway, it was a break in Korea. So I went to the Philippines again, and this time I went to the island of Mindanao, which is where I am now. And then during this time, COVID-19 was here, but it wasn't locked down at that time. And I think this was in the March, I think I came here. I think it was March. Anyway, the Philippines decided to lock the airports down. So I was stuck here. I was stuck in the Philippines, okay? And couldn't get out. Couldn't go back to work in Korea because no flights in or out of the country. And this went on for 2 years, guys. I was here for 2 years. And in that time, I kind of fell in love with the place. I met some people, because although the place was locked down, we could still move around. It wasn't like in the UK where you couldn't leave the house and things like this. Here you could still move around. And I met some people who were fishing on the breakwater, which is over there, and started fishing with them guys. Made some friends, and I thought, do you know what? This is great. You know, this is what the retiring was all about. This was the reason why I took an early retirement, was to be doing what I'm doing at that particular time. Anyway, in that time as well, I met my wife now. you know, then girlfriend, you know, but now she's my wife. And decided that I was going to stay in the Philippines. I loved it so much, guys. I really did. I loved it so much. I went back to Korea one more time when they lifted the lockdown. Oh, guys, it was a nightmare, honestly. It was paperwork, this, that. I had to get clearance from the barangays, I had to get clearance from the hospitals, I had tests, swabs, and everything. So I did leave the country, and I went back to Korea. Because I had, all my things were in Korea. You know, my laptop and all kinds of bits and pieces were there. So I needed to go back. Went back there, gave my notice. And by giving my notice, I was in breach of a contract. So what I said to them was, I said, well, rather than me be in breach of a contract and pay a hefty fine to get out of it, because that's what it is in Korea, you have to pay fines, and they are not small fines for breaking contracts. So I said, well, okay, how about if I can teach the students that I teach now in the Hagwons online? And they kind of, and I said, look, I said, all what they got to do is either download Skype, or we can use Kakao Talk, which is their, you know, that's their social media kind of platform that they use. So they went and had a discussion. I was there for 2 weeks. They had a discussion and a meeting, and I was in the meeting, and they said, well, what could I give them into the teaching? And I said, well, it's just going to be free talk, and I could help them with their English exams online. And they accepted it, okay? Now, this went on for a while, and obviously I took a big reduction in salary because it was online, it was online work. But that, you know, but that was okay. Then, when my contract was up, they wanted me to continue, but I didn't. I felt I was obligated to that company. And when you work for a Korean company, guys, it's they contact you all times. You know, the managers will contact you at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. How did this student get on? Did you do this? Did you do that? I thought, I can't have this no more. So I packed in. Then I got a job with Camberley.com. Camberley.com. Okay? And no, yes, oh yes, it was Camberley.com I started with. Then I went on to Preply.com and Ontu.com, which is onlinetuition.com. Now, when I was working for Ontu, now they are Korean based, but they've got some offices here in Pampanga. Now, I checked it out, and I was actually working illegally. Okay, so I packed it in for Ontu because there was a base here, and they were paying me from here. Okay, I was getting paid in Philippine pesos. So I stayed with them for about 6 weeks while I checked it out, and it was a no-no because then I wasn't a permanent resident. I was only a tourist. And then I went and worked for a company called Camberley and Preply at the same time. Preply is good, but I preferred Camberley. It was much more relaxed, and you got paid weekly. I like that. And from that moment on, yes, I took a large reduction in the salary, but then I was in a country where the cost of living was also reduced significantly to living in Korea. So it was like swings and roundabouts, guys. Swings and roundabouts. And I've been working for them ever since. I do reduced hours now because I kind of don't need to work them long hours like I used to. And I got married, you know, in this time I got married, and we got a child, and I went for the permanent residence visa. I got it. First, the 1-year probation. Completed the 1-year probationary visa. Then I got the permanent. And that's another video with the interview. That's another video, guys. But anyway, they got my permanent residency, which gives me all kinds of perks. I think I've got every single perk here except for voting, you know. And I could, if I wanted, I could go for for citizenship. I think you're going to be here, is it 5 years or 10 years? Well, I've been here 7 years now. And I could, if I wanted to, go for citizenship, but I don't know whether I want to do that or not. But it's something to, think about in the future, because I can't ever see me going back to the UK and living in that fast-paced world. And the idea of me taking the early retirement was for me getting out of the UK. Of course it was. But look guys, this is only 20 minutes from my house. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you, okay? Now, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. And over here, this is a lovely bay here for swimming here. This is a lovely, see how calm it is, calm, and the water's so clean. And that boat over there, incidentally guys, that takes you to Cebu. And that leaves night times, and it takes about 9 or 10 hours from Dipolog, which is where I am right now, in Galas. Cebu is over there, and that takes about 10 hours to get there. So yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. Weather is fine, it suits me to the ground. Everything is lovely in my world anyway, in Stephen's world. So yes guys, this is how I ended up in Dipolog. It wasn't, or in the Philippines, it wasn't an intentional thing. I didn't know where I wanted to be when I took my retirement. I just knew I didn't want to be in England or in the Western world, because if I was, then I wouldn't have been able to take an early retirement and kind of find my way around with not the financial support I had from my job in England, which was quite a good salary. So yes, that's it guys. It's not very exciting, I know, but you know, you asked why I ended up in the Philippines, or a few of you asked, in fact quite a lot of you, and I said I would tell you the reason, and that is the reason, and that is it. That is basically it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change what I have now for anything. I certainly would never go back to any Western country and live. And worst case scenario, because obviously, you know, there's a bit of a worry, I think, with medical care here, maybe. But I'm a member of Phil Health with me and my wife and my son. You know, we've got like family medical insurance. I don't know how much it covers or what it covers, sort of thing. I know the basics, but I don't know the ins and outs. But the worst case scenario, I could just, find my way back to the UK and get treated in the UK, if anything happened. I'm still very fit at the moment. I'm still relatively young and enjoying life. So I don't think about them things until they happen. I hope they never happen, but if they did, it's not a big deal. I could just sort it out one way or the other by going back home if it was a big thing. But by the grace of God, I hope I stay healthy until I'm 100 years old and live out my days here. But I will probably die in the Philippines, but I've got no intentions of going to any other country to live anyway. Holidays possibly, but not to actually live there. It's beautiful guys here, really. And if any of you guys are thinking about leaving the West and taking a chance, which I did, I would say try it. Try it, you know. I did, and success. Maybe there are not so many success stories, but at least I am one of them, and I hope if you guys took the chance, you would also be a success story too. And the guys who are already out here, or in any other country except your own, and you're having the time of your life, I hope it's all of a good success story for you guys as well. So that's it. I hope you like the video, and I've explained things very, very quickly and as clearly as I can with the time given. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe guys, and like the video, and also share the video. That's very important for the algorithms, and also hit the notification. So guys, thank you very much indeed. Take good care. God bless you wherever you are. Thank you for taking the time to listen to Stephen. Philippines Life. See you guys in the next part. Bye bye guys. Take good care.